Hey guys, how's it going? ZeranZ here, coming at you with the first part of my Slayer Lacerate guide. This is going to be probably around a 3 or 4 part video series talking about my Slayer that I've been playing in the PoE Hardcore Prophecy League. This part's going to entail leveling from about 1 to 68, just getting from normal to merciless, what I did, where you put your skill points in, stuff like that, item choices that will help you level up, and where we're going to head with the build. So let's go ahead and get started by looking at the 1 through 30 skill tree. Alright guys, here we go. Right now we are looking at the 1 through 30 skill tree. This is what it's going to look like about your skill point distribution for levels 1 through 30. That's picking up all the skill points you knew in the quest line there. So you start out pretty basic, picking up all of this, and then you're going to come here, pick Master of Arena, grab this life here, and then head over to Art of the Gladiator. You're going to come down through here, grab this two-handed damage, and pick up this life here. You'll notice that we invest heavily. I invest heavily in life early on because I don't want to die, and you don't really need the damage too much because two-handers are pretty strong. So then we're going to come over here, pick up this life wheel here, all the way up to Bloodless, pick up Unwavering Stance, going to be an armor build, not going to need any evasion. Then come up through here, grab all this good stuff, some nice melee fizz damage, attack speed there, so some offensive stuff there. Come up through this life here, and then pick up Resolute Technique. This will be where it'll be around level 30-ish. Basically, we focus on getting a lot of HP, so we stay alive easily. Our damage is supplemented pretty easily through two-handed weapons, and then once you pick up Resolute Technique, your DPS will go up a lot because you'll never be missing. This is, of course, a non-crit build. So this is what the tree will look like, levels 1 through 30. And then we're going to head and swap over to levels 30 through 68 about where you'll be around Dried Lake after you farm it a couple times. So let's pull that up. Okay, so a few notes before we head into the 30 through 68 tree. There's 2 int nodes that you'll probably need to pick up. You definitely need this int node at some point to run Blasphemy, and you'll also need it to run Herald of Ash as you level it up. Or if you get in on your gear, you can use that, and you can drop this node, and then later on I needed this node as well, but you can drop that as well if you have in on the gear to supplement the Blasphemy. Alright, so a few key differences here. We've picked up this sword wheel here. Before, you can use basically any two-handed weapon to push through with good DPS. I used an axe for a while, and then once we picked up a sword, we picked up this sword wheel here, and then I think right after 30, what I did was I went up and got this life because it's extra life, always good. And then I picked up this sword wheel here. And after that sword wheel, you can get this sword wheel here, so it's a little more. It's good life leech there. Then you can come up here and grab this life. I haven't grabbed it all because I don't think I need it yet, but this is all 4 more life nodes available to you that you can get. Then you come through here, get this armor and life, and start working on this sword wheel here. This is where I'm at currently in my build. Also, I recently, probably the last couple levels, I picked up this life leech wheel here. It synergizes really well with the Slayer node we're going to get in Merciless, but I picked it up just towards the end here because we're probably going to be doing Merciless Lab pretty soon, and we're gonna this wheel synergizes really well with the node over here that we're going to talk about in a second. You can also maybe pick up this. I haven't picked up this, but it might be worth it. So this is what your thing's going to look like right before you start mapping, around the time you start mapping. You got a decent amount of HP. I'm sitting around like 4,300 on my character, and he's got pretty shit gear. But yeah, so let's talk about the Slayer choice and what we're going to be doing here. So I have these 4 selected. So basically, first Ascendance, I went here. And you have a few choices you can do here. I didn't test going this way first because I didn't need it. You're getting a lot of life. I don't think you need the leech yet. This is for later. So I went this way first. So you pick up this attack speed, 2-handed weapon damage, good. And then you gain Onslaught for 20 seconds when you kill a rare unique enemy, and then kill it, basically Culling Strike. So Onslaught makes you super jacked. You attack really fast. You move really fast. Every time you kill a rare unique. You won't notice how super good it is until you start mapping and you're clearing really fast, and you basically have Onslaught up 24/7 because there's lots of rares. The Cull is super nice for leveling up. I mean, culling Dominus, culling Malachi, 20% of the life you don't have to cut through. basically all elite stuff like that. You cut through them really easily. The cull is just super nice. And as soon as I got this, I noticed a big difference. We were clearing a lot faster in the level up processes. And then at Cruel, you're going to pick up Headsman. So you get more attack speed, more two-handed weapon damage, and then you get Headsman, which is 50% reduced physical damage taken, which in the end game is pretty nice. We're not going Vol Pact, so we're going, regular regen, so you could kill yourself, but you won't. Not only are you not crit, but you're taking half reflect, so that's good. Then you have 20% more damage if you've killed recently, and then 20% AoE if you killed recently. Now this node, dude, as soon as you get this, it's amazing. Okay, so 20% more damage if you killed recently. It recently is past 4 seconds, as you can see. So after you've killed recently, you're doing 20% more damage. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. The big thing that this does for you is you get the 20% increased AoE. So Lacerate scales with AoE. We don't get any extra AoE, but from this node, since you're always killing, you always have 20% increased AoE, and I want to say it like doubles your efficiency because the Lacerate expands a lot, and you start attacking, like, you're clearing much bigger pools of mobs. So those are the 2 Ascendancy key nodes you're going to get while leveling up and hitting around level 68 before doing Merciless. And we'll talk more about the other 2 choices later on in the other video guides. So once again, this is the skill tree. I'll have links to it in the description below, and you can check out the 1 through 30 and the 30 through 68. And yeah, this is exactly how your build will look around 68. I like it. I have a link to the full build in there as well, my finalized build. You can check that out if you want as well. So a couple more things I want to talk about before we end the video here. Okay, so while leveling up, there's a few items I think that you should pick up that will increase your leveling speed quite a bit, and they're really cheap. So the first is going to be a red beak. Now, if you're fresh starting the league, you're not going to be able to afford any of this shit like I do. This is my first build this league, so I couldn't afford anything. But if you can get your hands on a red beak, you'll level up a lot faster, and you want to get to the point where you can switch to Shiver Sting. Shiver Sting is level 14. You equip that, you're hitting things like a truck with Lacerate, clearing through everything. You can get yourself a black heart, standard leveling gear. And then around 44, you want to pick up a Rigwald's. I got this one, it's pretty good. I was super unlucky. I used this thing up until like level 38, where I got some yellow that was marginally better, and then I went ahead and bought a Rigwald's for about 1 out to 1C. I can't remember exactly what I spent on it, but it's super cheap. And this thing lasted me all the way up until now. So these are a few. The 2 swords are the big thing. I think these will get you to exactly where you want to be. You'll level up super fast, and you won't have to worry about having a weapon if you buy these ahead of time. The Rigwald's super nice also. So I definitely advise picking up these. Finally, I want to talk a little bit about the skill Lacerate and what you'll be running with it while leveling up. I was lucky enough to get this 5-link here that is actually very awful. However, it's a 5-link, and I've been using it up until now, and I really should swap off it. That's not important. What's important are the links. So obviously, you're going to be running Lacerate. Your main damage skill, the first support that I ran with it was probably Melee Fizz and faster attacks. So on a 3-link, you can run Lacerate, faster attacks, Melee Fizz, and then on a 4-link, which is really easy to get, you would be running Multi-Strike, Melee Fizz, Lacerate, and faster attacks. Now, if you're afraid of dying, you can swap Melee Fizz for Fortify. I'm running Fortify and Melee Fizz because I'm afraid of dying, but I have a 5-link. So if not, your 5-link would look something like Multi-Strike, Melee Fizz, Lacerate, faster attacks, and probably added fire. But I think Fortify is good. So that's the link setup I've been running. So Lacerate, and then you'll want to run Melee Fizz, faster attacks, Multi-Strike, and then if you get a 5-link, throw in a Fortify. If you're afraid of dying, swap Fortify for Melee Fizz, and then if you get a 5-link, you'll have both. So that's the skill setup. A few other key points about the build. Leap Slam is what I've been using. It's nice. You get a movement ability. I used Double Strike for a while as my single target before I got all my links and stuff, and even now, if I'm bossing, you can swap the Double Strike into where the Lacerate is, and you do so much single target damage. It's nuts. But I've noticed that I don't really need to at this point. Lacerate does enough damage to where taking the time to swap it's not really necessary. You're going to want an Enduring Cry. Enduring Cry is nice, gives you life regen, gives you endurance charges, which this build will endgame have 7, but right now we have 4. So those help you get tanky. Ancestral Protector. This totem is nuts. So basically, you place this totem and your attack speed goes up while you're around it, and it punches stuff for you. So you'll definitely want to run Ancestral Protector because it increases your DPS in general by a lot. I usually drop it on elite packs, rares, and bosses. Don't bother dropping it on white mobs. It's not worth the time to drop it. The next thing we're running is Herald of Ash. So Herald of Ash, 25% mana reserved, and you get 15% of your physical damage as extra fire, so you get a little fire damage. There's a choice between this and Hatred. Hatred takes up a lot more mana, and I like running Blasphemy. So we're running Blasphemy and Warlord's Mark. This is great for us because Warlord's Mark gives 2% Life Leech. This build endgame sustains itself off of Life Leech. So the 2% from Warlord's Mark on top of all the stuff we get from the tree and from the Slayer tree is super nice. Plus you get Mana Leech, so you don't have to worry about mana problems. And we put it on Blasphemy because, well, you're a melee character, you walk up, and the curse is on everything. So you'll be running Warlord's Mark and Herald of Ash as your mana reserved. I might want to throw something else in there, but I haven't decided yet. Golem choice. I went with Stone Golem. It's pretty helpful. You get life regen while leveling up. It's really nice. The other choice is Fire Golem. You could go Fire Golem, Chaos Golem, or Stone Golem. Stone Golem I like because I enjoy the life regen. I think it helps sustain you, and you get a lot of life regen from the tree already. You get like 2.8% or something like that, and then you add this on top of it. It's a lot of life regen. Late game, probably going to drop the Stone Golem for Fire Golem, get that extra damage because our life sustain will be all leech instead of life regen anyways. And then Chaos Golem gives you percent physical damage reduction, I think. It's not really necessary. You're an armor character. You should have a lot of armor. Not like my character who has shit gear. We have like no armor, but you'll want a lot of armor. So yeah, I want those Stone Golem while leveling up. We'll probably swap to Fire. And I think that's all the skills you'll need. I started using Blood Rage pretty recently, like 5 levels ago. You can start running that. Just get your 3 frenzy charges all the time. Plus you get more life leech, which is awesome, and more attack speed. So the degen won't affect you at all because of your life regen. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the first part of my Slayer guide. Of course, this is a 2-handed Lacerate life leech Slayer, and the other parts of the build will be coming out later on in the week as I progress further on into the character. I want to thank you again for watching. You can check the links to the side of me for all of the places that I am putting content out. On the Twitch stream, you can catch all the Path of Exile action as well as other games. On the YouTube, you can catch my Path of Exile guides as well as other game uploads like Overwatch, which is taking up most of my time right now, along with Path of Exile. And then there's also my Twitter, which is ZeranZ. Follow me there for updates. You can see when I go live with streams, when I upload YouTube videos and stuff like that. So go ahead and check out those links, and thanks for watching again, guys, and we'll see you next time.